it's Suzanne. I am making black drawing salve today. Um, I really wanted to do this the other day, but I've been sick, and so I'm just now getting able to make this. But it's a spin-off of the comfrey salve ointment that I made here a couple weeks ago. But the black drawing salve, there's a little bit more to it because it's actually meant like to during like if you have an infection or and you want to draw out pus, and so it's just a little bit more potent. But it starts off just like the comfrey um, salve or ointment, and then I've added, it's the charcoal that does the healing and draws out the pus and stuff. But if you have a sliver or a foreign object of some sort, a metal object of some sort that's like in the skin, the black drawing salve might help you to, it loosens it, kind of brings it to the surface where then you can get the tweezers and get it out. But it's also good for things like boils, as it draws out the pus to the surface, and then it makes faster healing of that area of the skin. So, but thorns and sharp things, or insect bites, or bee stings, or anything like that, acne, black salve is really, really good for that. I'll get more into it in my healing section, but that's why I make black salve. Also, I have a nasty cut on my finger that I need to put some black salve on, and it's more or less when things have gone like bad, and it's not gonna like heal on its own very good. You want to help it along and do some black salve on that cut or scrape or anything that's pus infected, anything like that. Okay, so before you start, spray everything, and make sure your work area is clean, and spray your little containers. I bought these at the Dollar Tree. They're like $1 for, I think you get 10 of them or something. So they work good for salve, and I can give these away to the kids, and if they need to. The comfrey, or even the calendula ointment, I make that too, and chamomile cream, I make that too. So but these here, you spray them with alcohol, and I use the 91%, and so everything is nice and clean and sprayed down, and hopefully the germs are at a minimum. So in this recipe, here's how they come, like this, in at the Dollar Tree. So before I started this morning, early, I took some calendula petals and I ground them, and I put them in my little tiny crock pot with some olive oil, and I let them cook for a couple hours, and then I strained the oil, and that olive oil is what I'm using now. Excuse me, I've been sick, and I still have that icky in my throat. Anyway, so what I've got here, if you can use organic, if you can find that and order that, you're better to use the organic. I will put the recipe below, so not to worry. Things like the shea butter that's in the recipe. If you can get the unrefined, that's good. Today I'm using refined, so it's alright too, but if you can get unrefined just means that it hasn't gone through the breaking down process using the chemicals to break down the nuts where they extract the butter out of it. But I use both, and today that's all I had, so I'm using it. So the white bees pellets is what I'm using today, and if you can get organic, that'd be good. The other things, now it's up to you totally because it depends on where you are in the country, but things like, the yarrow flower powder and stuff like that, I try to get organic, and if I can't find the organic, that's fine too, because then I'll just use the regular. But anything that, like, you do use, don't worry. If you can find the organic, fine. If not, go with what you have. So, for this recipe, there's 40 grams of neem oil. This is the neem oil, and I use that also in comfrey salve. 40 grams of neem oil, 50 grams of beeswax, 80 grams of the shea butter. Okay, then I have 10 grams of the castor oil. This is, you want to use that. 10 grams of coconut oil and 10 grams of olive oil. All right, so now don't forget I have the calendula flowers all ground up, and so I get my 10 grams of olive oil from that batch. Save your colored jars. If you buy oil or whatever, like olive oil or other kind of oil, with the colored jars, when they're empty, work great because you can make yourself a batch of calendula flower oil, strain it, and put it in here, and it will keep. Okay, so now in here, I have a teaspoon of bentonite clay, a teaspoon of comfrey powder, a teaspoon of, here's the comfrey root powder, the teaspoon of oat straw powder. All these are powders here. Okay. The half teaspoon of yarrow. These are yarrow flowers. And check when I get it up, I'll be posting it, why I chose yarrow flowers, what's the benefit. And I'll do all of them. Oat straw, comfrey, bentonite, clay, the yarrow, all the things that I use, I'll tell you what the benefits are and why I chose. Okay, barberry, the barberry is like this. So, I use 1 cap of that. It comes in capsules, like so. So, you just take them apart, just undo them. And I use 1 capsule of that. And 4 capsules of red clover blossom. And like you can see, I get that from Swanson's. So I use 4 capsules of that. Now the reason that I use the red clover blossom combination, in there is dandelion root. In here is dandelion root, echinacea root, licorice root, peach bark, plantain leaves, prickly ash bark, sarsaparilla root, and yellow dock root. And I will go through those things, why I use them, and the benefits of using them. You can also buy the red clover tea. So if you want to use the tea leaves, grind them up, you can do that. There's sky's the limit. You can do however you like to do. So the charcoal, activated charcoal, this is your main thing. You're going to use a whole tablespoon of that. And don't be afraid to put a little bit more if you want to. The essential oils, things like black cumin. I get this from Essential Depot. And then all the other oils, I don't know as I'm allowed to show them because they're a big company, and I used to be a distributor for them, but they wrote, since I'm not, they wrote me a email, and I don't know what I'm supposed to say. So anyway, I won't say, but black cumin, you can get that at Essential Depot. I'm sure they won't mind that I told you that. And the others are lavender, so 10 drops of the black cumin, 10 drops of lavender essential oil, 10 drops of chamomile essential oil, 5 drops of cedarwood essential oil, 5 drops of tea tree essential oil. So that's all. Those are all the ingredients. And so let's get started here. I have melted all the oils, and like I said, I'll have them written below for you. And I'm going to put in the herbs. This is the comfrey powder, all the powders, except for I haven't put the charcoal in yet. But those are the other powders that I read off. And like I said, this recipe will be below. Alright, so now the essential oils, you can go by the pipette. So 10 drops. And black cumin is probably one of the best things to use when you're wanting to make something for infections. It's a great antibacterial, antifungal. Alright, so tea tree, lavender, lavender and chamomile are both for the nerve endings at the surface of the skin. So, that's where the pain and everything. So, chamomile and lavender help to soothe them. And don't worry if it's like the recipe is like 10 drops. Don't worry if you want to put 11 or 12 in. Just don't put 50. But if you're off a drop or two, it isn't going to matter. Okay, so this is the black drying salve that is the miracle for drying out pus and stuff. Oh, I forgot. 1 teaspoon of allantoin. Forgot about that. But it'll be below. I just saw it here. And these are the other things that you can, the little jelly jars. I've used these before in the past, and if you have them, you can use them instead of the little things that I showed you. Okay, so the powders. Soap making resource. Nature's Garden. Online Amazon for these type of things. I got that online, Amazon.com. And same thing with the Neem Oil. You can go Amazon.com. Same thing with that. And then Swanson's. So you see, I buy like wherever. But Crafter's Choice has that is Wholesale Supplies Plus. They have the big thing of calendula. And calendula is in the marigold family, but it's the antibacterial, antifungal. So it's very, very, very good. All right, now the charcoal, activated charcoal, is a whole tablespoon of that, and maybe just a little bit more. And it's not heaping, that would be, you know, flat. That was a half a tablespoon. And like I said, I reached out because my family, I give this stuff to my family if they're, like my oldest son, he had a boil, and I gave this to him, and it did help him. But he's only one person, you know, and nobody else that I know has boils. Thank God. But, I mean, just saying that it's not like something that, you know, yet everybody has. So I can't, you know, I can't tell you about boils that much. Now, I have had slivers and stuff in the past that I put this on, and it does bring them to the surface. And then, or thorn, like a thorn from a rose bush or other kind of bush. So, but that's just myself. So I can't tell you like on a study of like 1,000 people or something like that. But the plain comfrey salve, not the black salve, but the other one that I made a couple weeks ago. My husband has arthritis. He went to the doctor, and the doctor gave him tramadol, and his hand was swollen like twice the size. And so, you know, he was wrapping it and soaking it and Epsom salts, and he was doing all sorts of things. And so I made the comfrey salve. So the end of that story is it helped him, and his hand is back to normal size. But see, now that's only like one here and there that I can tell you about. So alright, so once you get everything all mixed up, then just pour into your little containers. Let it cool, and put your tops on, and you're all set to go. And again, all these things that I use, I will have a little description. I will put out some other videos that'll be short. I won't actually be making a product. I'm just going to tell you about why I use what I use, and or how I got the recipe, or something. Alright, so I will probably make another batch that made 5, and so I'll let that sit, and it'll be a salve, and it'll be good for anything that has an infection, plus all your different things that you added. will help infection and help the area heal a little faster once you can control the infection. So, if you have any questions or anything, just put them below and I'll get to them ASAP. I'll answer them. And I hope you like the video. Comment and subscribe and give me thumbs up. And look for my other videos on all about the different herbs and stuff that I use. And other than that, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.